यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन जमुनातीरावनचारि जमुनातीरावनचारि जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय राधे श्याम राधे श्याम राधे श्याम जय राधे श्याम जय कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम जय गौरानिता गौरानिता जय गौरानिता जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव जय ओम परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य श्री श्रीमद His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ke jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की जय समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय निताय गौर सीतनाथ प्रेमानंदे हरि 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 बोल। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय So this evening we are reading from Srimad Bhagavad-Gita, second chapter, text 46. Yavanarpane sarvata samplutodake tavan sarveshu vedeshu brahmanasya vijanatah yavanartha udapane सर्वतः सम्प्लुतोदके तावान् सर्वेषु वेदेषु ब्राह्मणस्य विजानतः यावानर्थोदपाने सर्वतः सम्प्लुतोदके तावान् सर्वेषु वेदेषु ब्राह्मणस्य विजानतः यावानर्थोदपाने सर्वतः सम्प्लुतोदके तावान् सर्वेषु वेदेषु ब्राह्मणस्य विजानतः यावानर्थ उदपाने सर्वतः सम्प्लुतोदके तावान् सर्वेषु वेदेषु ब्राह्मणस्य विजानतः माताजी यावानर्थ उदपाने सर्वतः सम्प्लुतोदके तावान् सर्वेषु वेदेषु ब्राह्मणस्य विजानतः यावानर्थ उदपाने तावान् सर्वेषु वेदेषु ब्राह्मणस्य विजानतः यावान् all that artha is meant udapane in a well of water sarvatah in all respects sampluta udake in a great reservoir of water tavan similarly sarveshu in all Vedeshu, Vedic literatures, Brahmanasya, of the man who knows the Supreme Brahman, Vijanataha, who is in complete knowledge. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. All purposes served by a small well can at once be served by a great reservoir of water. Similarly, all the purposes of the Vedas can be served to one who knows the purpose behind them. Please repeat. All purposes served by a small well can at once be served by a great reservoir of water. Similarly, all the purposes of the Vedas can be served to one who knows the purpose behind them. Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. The rituals and sacrifices mentioned in the Karma Kanda division of the Vedic literature are meant to encourage gradual development of self-realization. And the purpose of self-realization is clearly stated in the 15th chapter of the Bhagavad-Gita, 15:15. What is that 15:15 verse? Thanks. Yeah. Sarvasya chaham hridhi sannivishto matta smritir jnanam apohanam cha vedeshta sarvairahameva vedyo vedantakrit vedavideva chaham. The purpose of studying the Vedas is to know Lord Krishna, the primeval cause of everything. So, self-realization means understanding Krishna and one's eternal relationship with him. The relationship of the living entities with Krishna is also mentioned in the 15th chapter of the Bhagavad-Gita, 15:7. 15:7? Anyone? Yes. Yes. The living entities are parts and parcels of Krishna. Therefore, revival of Krishna consciousness by the individual living entity is the highest perfectional stage of Vedic knowledge. This is confirmed in the Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, 33rd chapter, 7th verse. It's as follows. Aho, please repeat. Aho batashvapachoto gariyan yajjihvagre vartate namatubhyam te pustapaste juhuvushasnurarya brahmanochor nama grinanti yeti. O my Lord, a person who is chanting your holy name, although born of a low family like that of a Chandala, a dog eater, is situated on the highest platform of self-realization. Such a person must have performed all kinds of penances and sacrifices according to Vedic rituals and studied the Vedic literatures many, many times after taking his bath in all the holy places of pilgrimage. Such a person is considered to be the best of the Aryan family. So one must be intelligent enough to understand the purpose of the Vedas without being attached to the rituals only, and must not desire to be elevated to the heavenly kingdoms for a better quality of sense gratification. It is not possible for the common man in this age to follow all the rules and regulations of the Vedic rituals, nor is it possible to study all the Vedanta and the Upanishads thoroughly. It requires much time, energy, and knowledge and resources to execute the purposes of the Vedas. This is hardly possible in this age. So the best purpose of Vedic culture is served, however, by chanting the holy name of the Lord as recommended by Lord Chaitanya, the deliverer of all fallen souls. When Lord Chaitanya was asked by a great Vedic scholar, Prakashananda Saraswati, why he, the Lord, was chanting the holy name of the Lord like a sentimentalist instead of studying Vedanta philosophy, the Lord replied that his spiritual master had found him to be a great fool and thus asked him to chant the holy name of Lord Krishna. He did so and became ecstatic like a madman. In this age of Kali, most of the population is foolish and not adequately educated to understand Vedanta philosophy. The best purpose of Vedanta philosophy is served by inoffensively chanting the holy name of the Lord. Vedanta is the last word in the Vedic wisdom, and the author and knower of the Vedanta philosophy is Lord Krishna. And the highest Vedantist is the great soul who takes pleasure in chanting the holy name of the Lord. That is the ultimate purpose of all Vedic mysticism. Thus ends the purport for this verse 246 of Srimad Bhagavad-Gita. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Vancha kalpatarobhyascha कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna everyone. Welcome to this evening's Bhagavad-Gita session. In this verse, when I read the purport, even the translation, where Krishna is saying, all purposes served by a small well can at once be served by a great reservoir of water. Thoda translation dikhaiye. Similarly, all the purposes of the Vedas can be served to one who knows the purpose behind him. And in the purport, Prabhupada is mentioning several points. So, he's mentioning about, the very first sentence, the rituals and sacrifices mentioned in the Karma Kanda division of the Vedic literature are meant to encourage gradual development of self-realization. You see, the Vedas and the Vedic rituals that the Vedas mention, it elevates the living entities. When they follow it, they elevate the living entities slowly, and eventually they will achieve the ultimate purpose of the Vedas. Okay. Now, how does this Vedas do that? See, there are different kinds of living entities, okay, with different grades of faith, with different grades of understanding, and different grades of their karmic understanding, their intellectual development, emotional development. So not everybody is on the same level. So the Vedas have different rituals, different karmic activities meant for all these people, all these different kinds of people, to develop their faith in God ultimately. And have you ever taken some sugar-coated pills when you got sick? How many? All of us, right? So the Vedas, the rituals that they give, the prescribed, they are like these sugar-coated pills. They tell you, you do this ritual, you will get this result. You do this yagya, you will go to heaven, and you can enjoy forever. Although it's not forever, you got to come back. But they give this shining. What do you say, that they attract you with this shining ads. They say, you do this, you'll get this, you do this, you get this. And then people, those who don't have faith, those who are not above the bodily level, which is the dehatma buddhi, then they get attracted to this. Because you see, why are we in this material world? We are in this material world. We are looking for happiness. We want happiness. We want to be happy. We want love. We want happiness, right? So anything that makes us happy, with our senses or mind or intellectually, we go for it. Like some people, some who like sense gratification, the senses, then they go they get attracted to those kind of rituals which give them that kind of sense gratification. And if they are on that mental platform or the intellectual platform, then they get attracted to those kind of rituals mentioned in the Vedas, so that they can get that particular kind of gratification and happiness like that. So basically, the living entities, we are all, because we are the Tatastha Shakti, we are neither fully matter, not fully spiritual like Satchidananda Krishna. Of course, we are parts and parcels of Krishna. We are prone to like fall this side or that side. So that's why we are called the Tatastha Shakti, in between. And we easily get attracted to this or that. If we are stuck on the bodily platforms still, then obviously we get attracted to these kind of results that are mentioned in the Vedas, that you get this happiness, you'll get relieved of this dukkha, health problems. If you do this, and then we get attracted, and then we do that. So Vedas slowly, it helps you to rise above that dehatma buddhi, rise above the bodily platform. It's not easy, and it's not instant. It's very slow process. That's why in Bhagavad-Gita, Krishna says, Bahunam janmanam ante gyanavan mam prapadyate. It takes many, many lifetimes for a person to understand that Krishna is the ultimate, Krishna is our ultimate friend and protector. So just imagine all the Gyanis, it takes so many lifetimes to understand Krishna is the ultimate person. What about those who are still stuck in the bodily platform? It's going to take several lifetimes. So Vedas, they actually guide people. Like I've written down a few things here. One, they guide people to live righteously. Vedas, they tell you, if you live like this in a dharmic way, then you will become happy, right? And then Vedas, they teach how to not sin, how to not sin. So if you do your duties, Radhesham. So if you do your duties perfectly, can you hear? Yeah. Then you will be happy. You'll have that satisfaction within you, which will make you happy. Which, first of all, the satisfaction that comes by performing duties righteously, it makes you peaceful. When you're peaceful, then you're happy. First Shanti, then Sukham, Krishna says. And you see, how does Vedas do this? How does Veda help people not to sin? See, the Vedas, they guide people like as we mentioned, like slowly it helps people develop their consciousness to rise above the bodily platform. So for that, they actually let you be in the bodily platform, first of all, how to be happy, first of all, where on whichever platform you're on. And then they guide you to do para upakar, which is, what is that? Chanakya Niti, which says, Paropakarartham idam shariram. This body is meant for paropakar, to help others. So then they take you in that path. Like, for example, they say if you do annadan, in your next life, you will be fed nicely or you will be taken care of. So some kind of that ad, that you will become happy somehow. And then Gyan Dan, you educate people, and you give water every day, these kind of things. When people start to do this, then Vedas say that you increase your punya, your piety. And the prayer that we chant before honoring prasad, Maha Prasade Govinde, in that there is one line, Swalpa Punya Vatan Rajan Vishwaso Naiva Jayate. So if your punya is swalpa, means if your punya is less, then your faith, your degree of faith is also less. Your capacity to hold that faith is also less. So the more punya you acquire, the more capacity you acquire to have that, to hold the higher faith. Okay? So that's why Vedas guide the living entities to perform piety so that their faith increases in the Vedic activities. Because you see, Veda means Krishna. Krishna has given the Vedas, it's Krishna. Veda is Krishna, right? So to bring the living entities slowly to Krishna, then they guide them to acquire that piety and decrease their impiety, all the sins and everything like that. So when there is increased punya, then there is increased faith. Your faith level increases. Swalpa punya vatan rajan vishwaso naiva jayate. If you have little punya, then your faith will also. You see, when you go around for preaching, when you speak to different kinds of people, this is what I felt, those who are meat eaters, or it's very hard to actually tell them, chant Hare Krishna. It's going to make you happy. It's not easy. People don't accept it. Arey, chodo. I'm already doing this. They say, I'm already doing this. I'm already doing this, So it's not easy. So that's why Prabhupada says, you give them prasad. You give them the ISKCON bullets. Gulab jamuns are called the ISKCON bullets. So Prabhupada says, give them ISKCON bullets, khichdi, halwa, distribute all this and increase their spiritual faith. Because when you give them prasad, when they eat prasad, it's not, you're having you're intaking Shri Radhe Shyam. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So you're intaking the spiritual vibes. It's not anymore those food for life, just food served just to fill up the belly. This is for the soul. When you're fed prasad, it's going to directly attack your soul. Slowly it will bring you to the lotus feet of Krishna. So Prabhupada used that trick and he taught this, that you go out, if they're not ready to take the holy name, you give them prasad. If they take prasad, then you give them one book. If they buy one book, then you give them one more. Give them Bhagavad-Gita. And then next year you give them Bhagavatam. Somehow you just give them spiritual connection, like that. And Vedas, they, as I said, they allure people with all those shiny fruits, like that of, if you do this karma, that karma, you're going to get this, that. We already learned that. But this is still meant for people who are less intelligent. Less intelligent, what I mean by is, they're still on the bodily platform. This also, we understood. Now, Bhagavatam says Yagyai sankirtana praye yajantihi sumedhasaha. So what the intelligent people will do then? Those who are for less intelligent people, the Vedas, they're prescribing all these ritualistic activities. But then the intelligent people, they pick up Nam Sankirtan. They immediately accept the holy name. And this age, I tell you, this present age, this particular time we are in, I feel it's like the best time ever. We are so fortunate to be in this time. Everywhere there is preaching going on, different of the holy names, Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Katha everywhere, and many temples coming up, for Radha and Krishna, and so many places, the book distribution, food for life. Oh my God, it's such a beautiful time we are in. So we have to take advantage of this and inculcate more of this intelligence for ourselves and to uplift others. This is very important. Take advantage of this time and then help yourself and help others. How do you do that? You chant Hare Krishna first and then you help others also. Okay? And if one is very sincere and, in following the Vedic rituals, eventually it may be a little slow, but they will certainly achieve the connection to God. This is for sure. Maybe it will take some time, lifetimes, but at one point of time, they will achieve the connection to Krishna. Ye pakka hai. This is for sure. There is no doubt about it. Why? Krishna says, Vedeshta sarve rahameva vedyo, Vedantakrit Veda Videva. It's me, Veda. I am the Veda, right? I am that knowledge, and I am the one who has given that knowledge. So if it is Krishna, then obviously you will get connected to Krishna. There is no doubt. Whether you go by staircase or by elevator, you're going to reach that 10th floor that you want to go, right? If you go by staircase, it will take some time. But if you go by the elevator, you reach fast. Prabhupada gave this analogy. And then this following the Vedic rituals, it's like staircase. You are going to achieve Krishna who is sitting on the 10th floor. But it's going to take time, climbing each step. But if you just enter the elevator, just click that one button of the holy name, then you immediately, within few seconds, you are on the 10th floor with Krishna. So, this process or that process, both will take you there. But now you have to decide which one you want to take. You want to take the slow, gradual process or the fast elevator process? Which one you want to choose? We have already chosen, right? Which one? The elevator process, the faster one. And what is the button for it? Harinam. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Now, I want to share with you the 5 kinds of yagyas that we are meant to do every single day. Okay? This is according to the Vedic rituals. So we will learn about this. Even though we have the holy name, the fast process, still it's good to have some knowledge. Okay? So you may note down if you want. These are the 5 yagyas that we are meant to do on a daily basis. The first one is Brahma Yagya or the Veda Yagya, meaning to study the Vedas, Shastras, to uplift oneself and to share that knowledge with others. This is the Brahma Yagya. One must do this every day. Now, since we are the practitioners of Krishna consciousness, for us, we have the best Srimad Bhagavad-Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam. So every day, make it a point that you study these divine scriptures at least 30 minutes, minimum 30 minutes. And if you can study 1 hour, 2 hours. There are devotees who study 5 hours every day. So at least make it a point that take out 30 minutes out of 24 hours and do this Brahma Yagya, which is really very powerful. It's called the Swadhyaya. What is it called? Swadhyaya. You study for your own upliftment, and then as you study and understand, you share that knowledge with others. Okay, this is the Brahma Yagya. And then there is Deva Yagya. You know, this means doing yagya to please demigods. And we can do yagya to please Krishna. What is that yagya? Yes, Sankirtana Yagya. And we'd also do, yagya for Nishingadev to remove the obstacles, Sudarshana Yagya, like that. Recent now, my Guru Maharaj is very sick. He's in Bangalore. And it's very sad actually. But as disciples, it's our duty to do anything possible to pray for his health. Anything, yagya, dana, kuch bhi, anything and everything we must do to pray so that his health gets revived and he becomes, healthy to travel back to Sridham Mayapur. So can we please chant one time Hare Krishna Mahamantra for my Guru Maharaj, please? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, if you so desire, please help our spiritual master to get healthy. So this is, Deva Yagya, where you perform all these sacrifices and you show your gratitude to them. You see, the Devatas are controlling us on this planet. Every single part of our body is controlled by different demigods. And there is sun, there's moon, all these are helping us. So we have to show our gratitude. Hare, demigods, just leave them alone. That's not what we are taught. As Vaishnavas, we respect every single person. So why not respect the demigods too? So offer respect to them. And they're so experts in handling our karmas and giving us, based on our karmas, they have judged us very nicely. So be grateful to them. And just offering that gratitude itself is so wonderful. It can uplift us. Then the third one is Pitru Yagya. Okay. This is Pitru Yagya means where you are respecting your parents, elders, specifically the ancestors. And how do we do that? Once a year on their death anniversary, people do perform Shraddha ceremony. That's how we remember them once a year and then we offer that Shraddha. This is the Pitru Yagya. And I was taught that, the threshold of the house, the दहलीज दहलीज बोलते हैं ना हिंदी में. So that threshold is the place of Pitrus. So my grandmother used to tell me, whenever you go out, you touch the threshold and, take blessings from that. And I was wondering, sometimes it is a marble or a stone which is put there on the as daily, or it's just a cement, or it's a mud thing. And I was thinking, why touch this and take blessings? So then my grandmother told me, Pitrus live in that. So you touch and take blessings. When you go out, you pray to them, they will bring you back safe, like that. So this is the Pitru Yagya. And this is also one way you're offering your gratitude to them, right? See, gratitude should be the basic principle of our life. When you're grateful, then you're happy. Okay, so the next one is Bhuta Yagya. This means to feed the living entities, all the living entities around you, animals, birds, insects, ants, and even the living entities whom you feel who are hungry, the needy people, you feed them also. See, Prabhupada, he established food for life, not with any expectation, as the Vedas say. You give food today and then, you can reap that food later in some other lifetime or anything. Not with that purpose at all. Prabhupada, he told us to feed people, to give them Krishna consciousness. Because prasad is Krishna. Prasad is, but the moment you offer food to Krishna, it becomes prasad. And that prasad holds the power to transform the heart. So prasad is not ordinary. When I joined Krishna consciousness, ISKCON in Bangalore, I joined that temple in the Hare Krishna hill. At that time, it was Hare Krishna hill. And they used to serve the khichdi. We used to have Sunday feast, and that Sunday feast was this khichdi. Such tasty khichdi, huh? Morning time, yeah. After the class, yes. We used to have that darshan, best, that Shringara Arti, Kirtans and everything. Then after that Bhagavatam class, and after the Bhagavatam class was this khichdi prasad. We used to be crazy for this khichdi. And I must give you even the recipe actually. It's a very different recipe. If you want, you can try. It's rice, moong dal, same quantity. And you have to put potatoes in it, somph. Somph, what do you call somph in English? Huh? Fennel seeds, and red chilies. That's it. One pot khichdi. You just put everything together and you soak a little bit, for a... No. That khichdi didn't have pumpkin, only potatoes, yeah. Even the potatoes was cut in a different way. Not like, it was just like sliced. Like how you slice tomatoes or cucumbers for your salad, like that gol potatoes. Yeah, like it's not meant for chips also. It's a little thicker, like 1 inch kind of thing. Put everything at once and then keep on cooking it. This was the ISKCON khichdi there in the Hare Krishna. Very extremely tasty, and they used to offer at 8:30 and 9:30. They would serve hot, and I can't. Sorry, Radhesham. So prasad is, eating that khichdi transform the heart. because it was always attracting us back to the temple. You know, every week when it is Saturday, you already know, oh my God, I have to eat the khichdi tomorrow. Whether I remember Bhagavatam class, what he's going to say, what philosophy, didn't matter. But that khichdi was the most memorable thing. For many of you, I think you must have that experience, right? Prabhuji, right? So prasad plays a big role in devotees' lives, you know. And then the last one, Atiti Yagya. Atiti Yagya, or it's also called a Manushya Yagya, okay, where you respect the guests that come. What do you say that? Atiti Devo Bhava. Atiti Devo Bhava. Yeah. And then it's called the Manushya Yagya, which includes, you know, you respect the poor people, the needy people. So this all these things come under Atiti Yagya or Manushya Yagya. If somebody is needy and then you have money in your hand or you have the things that they are in need of, so is it bad to share? Is it bad to give? It's good. So you give. Don't expect anything. Arey, next life I'm going to get back that 1 rupee coin I gave, you know, I'll get back the food, you know. Don't serve with that mentality. Yeah, the what you give from your right hand, your left hand should not know. This is a standard of charity. But what I mean by this is if you give somebody something, if you have, you give, you're not going to lose anything. But also don't expect, mujhe ye milega, you know. Don't do it with that any expectation. Just do it. Today I'm carrying 2 pots of khichdi in my hand and somebody came and said, Mataji, give me 1 pot. Yeah, if I give, what am I going to lose? I still have 1 pot to eat. So in that way, just give. That should be the mentality. As a Krishna consciousness practitioners, okay? But outside the general people, they won't do anything without getting anything back, without getting anything in return. Many people, you know, who are sitting there, who are doing bandara, we are in Sri Vrindavan Dham. Yeah. You know, by roadside, they're giving out puri sabji or some thandai, something. And you ask them, why are you doing this? Are, agle, you know, in the next life, we are going to get this, get that. There is some expectation. But as devotees, we need to be trained to just do the duty and not expect. Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadal. We don't want fruits. If at all, if we want any fruit, is that we want them to become Krishna conscious. That's the only thing. Now, you learned about these 5 yagyas. Let me repeat. Brahma yagya, which is swadhyaya. Now you study the scriptures and you share the knowledge. Then there is Deva Yagya, where you perform the sacrifices for devatas and others to please them. And there is Pitru Yagya, you're remembering your ancestors, you're doing your shraddha, you're offering your gratitude to them. Then there is Bhuta Yagya, where you're feeding people, animals, like that. You're representing Krishna and you're taking care of them. Krishna is already there to give them food. But if you are giving, that means you are doing seva on his behalf. If you have that consciousness, then it uplifts us. And then there is Bhuta Yagya, I mentioned. Then there is Atiti Yagya. My friends, all these yagyas you may do unlimitedly. But remember, Srimad Bhagavatam says in 11th canto, 5th chapter, 41st verse. Anybody remembers? 11th canto, 5th chapter, 41st verse. No? Shall I say? Can you put that verse? 11:5:41, Srimad Bhagavatam. Devashi Bhutapta 5:41. You just type on top 11:5:41, it comes up. Yes. No, 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 no. Go up, go up, go up. Go up. Yes, click it. Yes. Please repeat after me. Devarshi Bhutapta Nrinam Pitrinam. Make it little bigger. Devarshi Bhutapta Nrinam Pitrinam. न किङ्करो नायमृणी च राजन् सर्वात्मनाय शरणं शरण्यम् गतो मुकुन्दं परिहृत्य कर्तम्. Once more. देवर्षि भूताप्त नृणां पितॄणाम् न किङ्करो नायमृणी च राजन् सर्वात्मनाय शरणं शरण्यम् गतो मुकुन्दं परिहृत्य कर्तम्. Translation. O King, one who has given up all material duties and has taken full shelter of the lotus feet of Mukunda, who offers shelter to all, is not indebted to the demigods, great sages, ordinary living beings, relatives, friends, mankind, or even one's forefathers who have passed away. Since all such classes of living entities are part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, one who has surrendered to the Lord's service has no need to serve such persons separately. Very clear. Srimad Bhagavatam is saying very clearly, look, you're not indebted. You surrender to Krishna, you chant his holy names, you take his shelter, you offer yourself to him. You're not indebted to anybody. If you don't surrender, if you are not willing to surrender, then you keep doing all the yagyas. Because ultimately, at one point of time, we need to purify ourselves. We need to purify our existence. We need to get out of this bodily concept of life. As long as you're in the bodily concept of life, we are going to go down only. Because the more you're attached, the more you're in the bodily concept, the more you're getting attached to the body and the senses and the related sense gratification, and we will never be able to surrender to Krishna. But when we have the association of devotees, when we have the association of our spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, the deities, the Shastras, the holy name, the holy dham, then we must surrender to Krishna and be not indebted to anybody and anything. Okay? We must. What other option do you have? What is the purpose of our life? To go back home, back to Godhead. So if we want, then we have to get, somehow we have to get out of this bodily concept of life. And there is this, let me read this one sentence. The rituals and sacrifices mentioned in the Karma Kanda division of the Vedic literature are meant to encourage gradual development of self-realization, Prabhupada is saying. And the purpose of self-realization is clearly stated in the 15th chapter of Gita. The purpose of studying the Vedas is, 15:15, and it is, the purpose of studying the Vedas is to know Lord Krishna, the primeval cause of everything. So, self-realization means understanding Krishna and one's eternal relationship with him. The relationship of the living entities with Krishna is also mentioned in the 15th chapter, 15:7. The living entities are parts and parcels of Krishna. Therefore, revival of Krishna consciousness by the individual living entity is the highest perfectional stage of Vedic knowledge. Okay? Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Naam bina kichu nahi ko aro, chauda bhuvana manje, udilo aruna purava bhage, dvijamani gaura mani jage. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, there's nothing more important and valuable than the holy name in the whole of the 14 worlds. So now, as sincere practitioners of Krishna consciousness, let us chant the holy names. Let us try to chant the holy names offenselessly, because the offenseless chanting, Prabhupada is saying here, the best purpose of the Vedanta philosophy is served by inoffensively chanting the holy name of the Lord. Okay? And how can we do that? Trinadapi shunichena tarorapi sahishnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari. So by respecting others, by offering our respect to others and not expecting that, then we can actually chant the holy names nicely. So let's chant the holy names once, and then Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for being patient. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,